For many of us, being able to live way below our means is not just any simple matter. However, it is something that many of us should strive for. The truth is that you don't need a lot of money just to live comfortably. If you know what you're doing and make strategic decisions with your lifestyle, you can find ways to make ends meet and have your needs taken care of without having to increase your income. It won't even matter how old you are or how stable your finances are. Making the right lifestyle changes can help you spend less, save more, and still enjoy your life. Today, we will talk about how you can live your life on a relatively low income. But before we start with our first tip, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. This way, you won't miss out on our future uploads. With that out of the way, let's get to the first investment tip. Number 1, review your expenses. This is a crucial step as none of the later tips will work if you don't analyze the money flow in your current lifestyle. So, the first question you have to ask yourself is this: where is your money going the moment you get it? You'd be surprised at how many people are not aware of how much their money they spend or retain in their accounts every month. Without an idea of your cash flow, you cannot make the necessary adjustments to optimize your regular income. To do this, you must first identify your regular monthly income. This is easy if you have a fixed income, like a salary. But what if you live with a variable monthly income? Then you must find the most logical estimate of your average monthly earnings. Next, you must identify all of your regular monthly expenses. This is where your bills would come in, as well as payments for your insurance, travel expenses, food, and other regular expenses. If you have outstanding debt, you must also include your monthly payment for that account plus interest. Lastly, you must identify all the variable expenses. These may be one-time expenses or non-essentials like going on a trip, eating at a restaurant, or buying gifts for your friends and yourself. With this list, you can have a clearer picture of where your money is going and start identifying which expenses need to go. Number 2, minimize debt. Although it would be best that you avoid incurring debt, the truth is that they are near impossible to avoid. Perhaps you might encounter an emergency that your savings cannot completely deal with. Thus, you need to apply for a loan. What makes debt quite a burden is interest. This is the added portion that you have to pay regularly until the outstanding balance is fully cleared. The longer you can't pay the entire balance, the longer you will have to deal with interest. What makes debt so frustrating is that you could have possibly used that money for something else. For example, the money you are paying for your dues could have been saved to pay for a new car or be invested in stocks. It is also relatively easy to get trapped in a debt cycle. This is where you take out a loan to pay for another loan, and then take another loan to pay for that loan, and so forth. So the best course of action here is to either refrain from taking a loan or make sure that you are dealing with one debt at a time. Number 3, remove the non-essentials. It might be common sense to never buy something that is not essential, but you would be surprised at how easy it is for people to do exactly just that. Non-essentials are not just expensive items that do not contribute to your living. They can even be useful implements that you have no immediate need for right now. For instance, you bought yourself an electric stove set with 3 pans and kitchen knives worth $500. However, your daily diet comprises mainly of store-bought food or takeout while using the stove once or twice a month. Therefore, your purchase became non-essential because it takes up space and you rarely use it. To prevent this, you must ask yourself a question before ordering anything. How often will I use this thing? Alternatively, you could ask yourself whether or not that purchase of yours will benefit you in either the short or long term. You'll be surprised at how many things you use to buy are non-essential purchases. Another problem in this day and age is the tendency to make impulsive purchases. It is easy to fork cash over for something that immediately catches your attention, especially as you browse through the internet. To stop this, it would be better to impose a 24-hour cooling period before you decide on a purchase. If you see something you like, do not immediately click the buy button or reach for your wallet. Instead, allow yourself at least a day or two before you make a purchase decision. This allows your brain to at least weigh the pros and cons of that purchase. Perhaps you would make a more thoughtful decision once a full day passes. Number 4, cook for yourself. Eating out might be the most convenient option if you work from 9 to 5, but it is expensive in the long run. For example, you might spend as much as $15 for each meal. That means you spend as much as $30 just to feed yourself for an entire day. You have to feed yourself, but you have to think about it this way. The $30 you just spent on eating out only gave you 2 full plates of food and some sides. It may be essential, but you could still optimize your expenses. Cooking for yourself will help you reduce your food costs without sacrificing quantity and quality. There is also where setting up a weekly food budget and learning about grocery store sales will help you. If you know what to look for and where you can use that $30, you could have enough food to prepare a decent meal for a few days. And if you're creative, you can come up with a meal to fill your stomach at a fraction of your usual cost of eating out in a restaurant. Cooking for yourself also helps you eat healthier, reducing medical expenses later on. After all, you are in complete control of your food and how you prepare them. That is, of course, if you buy healthy food. Lastly, cooking can become an enjoyable and cost-effective hobby. You might even find out that you have the skills to turn this hobby into an income-generating project later on. Of course, you'll never know until you try to cook a meal for yourself. Number 5, don't spend too much on your activities. Perhaps the most significant change you could make is with the activities you usually enjoy. If you do the cost analysis properly, you will find out that much of your expenses go into activities that might be worthwhile but needlessly expensive. For example, things like outings and restaurant dinners might help you enjoy more of your life. Still, they incur costs that take out more of your budget, especially if you do them frequently. What's the best option here without having to make your life boring then? The answer is finding the cost-free alternatives that allow you to achieve your goals. For instance, instead of taking your friends out to dinner, which can cost as much as $100 for that night, you can organize a potluck where everyone brings something for all to share. Or how about taking your friends and family out camping instead of an expensive out-of-town trip? The point is that there are ways to bond with the people you love without reaching for your wallet or credit card for every move you make. Being thrifty does not necessarily mean that you should miss out on living life to the best of your ability. The ideas mentioned in this video tell you that the difference between spending a lot and spending the right amount just to be happy lies in knowing exactly where to allocate your limited resources. By depending less on money to live a comfortable quality of life, you should achieve some level of financial stability. That's it! What's the first thing you'll apply starting today? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more investing facts, tips, hacks, and so much more. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.